No.
Okay, so we are good to go with CICD project. So this, and I will show you the project first, like what exactly it's all about. So it's a website, as you can see here. This website is running on AWS, and you can see that few things are displayed here, like home, about, service, project page, and everything. Now the code for this website is completely available in my Git repo. So I will show you there. So the purpose of CICD pipeline is that at any point of time, if I want to make any change on this website, then it should be very smooth. That means I will simply make a change in the code. I don't know how to deploy. I don't know how to compress this or where to put this code. I'm not concerned about it. I have a Git repository where my entire code is located. I just want to make some change over there and commit into my Git repository. From there, everything should be automatically happening. Whether the code build is there, code pipeline is there, deployment is there. Finally, the change should reflect on my website. In that case, more frequent releases can be there. The benefit of CI/CD is if I talk about 5 years back, usually we were having one release in a quarter because release itself is a very complicated stuff. But nowadays, you can release even multiple times in a day because you are not involved in the deployment process manually. That one time setup is done. That one time setup is done. After that, any developer, they can create the change. Someone can review because it's not a good idea to blindly deploy. Developer will make the code change. Some team lead or some manager or some QA, they will review the code. Once everything is fine, they will commit the code in the Git repo. And once committed, after a few minutes, I mean, pipeline will run, it will take some time to deploy, and finally the change will be reflected on your project. In our case, it's a web project, so I will show you. So I will show you the, let me open the Git repo. So Git repo is code commit. So code commit is a AWS service equivalent to Git. The commands are exactly same, there is no difference. Only thing is, if I talk about Git, right, the Git is a open source that's outside of AWS. What AWS is doing is they are providing a similar service with the name code commit, and it's Git based only. That means all the Git command, Git clone, Git pull, Git push, everything you can perform on this also. So this is the repository CICD demo, and I created this 1 hour ago. Just today morning only I created this repository. I will open this and I will show you my code. So this is my code. You can see that there are a few folders. CSS is there, JavaScript is there, libraries are there, and there are many more stuff. Even I'm not a web developer, but yes, the code is there. I can make a small change and I can show you how to reflect that change on the website. So the home page we were checking, right? That is basically index.html. So if I will make any change here, that will be reflecting over there. Now there are two way to make your change. Either you can directly do on the repository on the user interface, which I am showing you right now, but that's not a good idea. Usually how we do it, suppose you clone this code on your local, maybe on your personal laptop, or in case you are using platform as a service. You remember I was talking about platform as a service. Let me open that. So there is a service in AWS with the name Cloud9. Let me open that. Cloud9. You can read this line. A cloud IDE for writing, running, and debugging code. IDE is nothing but integrated development environment. So as I was telling you that you can launch Cloud9 environment within 5 minutes, and then it comes with pre-installed software, and it is very well integrated with AWS services. The good part is that. That means from Cloud9, if you want to connect with S3, code build, code pipeline, anything, that's very well integrated. So I will click on Cloud9, and I have created one Cloud9 environment today only. Today morning I did that. So we will be launching this, and this is a development environment. So you can all do all your development on Cloud9. So let it open. You can even do like, if as far as the cloning of code is there, right? You can even local system. But again, in case you lost your laptop or somehow your system got crashed, you may lose your code changes. So on the safer side, I always uh, make my code changes on the Cloud9 itself. So you can see that the environment name is C9 Neeraj. You can give any name. I will be opening it. So it will take 2 minutes of time. So behind Cloud9 environment, right, there's a server. EC2 instance is there. And you can see that EC2 instance is stopped attempting to start instance because it is smart enough that in case you are not using your Cloud9 environment for more than 30 minutes, it will stop the instance. And that's a good thing, right? Because it would be unnecessarily chargeable in case it keeps on running 24 by 7. So right now, behind the scene in the background, it is starting the EC2 instance. And within 2 minutes, this would be ready. So what I have done is I have cloned that code from Git repository to this Cloud9 environment. That means I can make all of my code changes here. And once I am sure that, okay, these are the expected code changes, I can commit those changes into the Git repository. And after Git repository commit, a pipeline will automatically trigger. So I will open the pipeline also and I will show you. I will not trigger the pipeline manually. I will simply commit the code and pipeline will be auto triggered. So I will close this file just to show you. So on the left side, you can see there is a Git folder. Inside that CICD demo. It's nothing but replica of your Git repository. This one, CICD demo. Whatever files you can see here, the same files are there on my local. JS lib, right? Same thing you can see on my Cloud9. CSS, IMG, JS lib, everything is there. Okay. So before we proceed, in case you have any doubt till now, I would like to take a 2 minutes of break and you can ask your doubts.
Yeah, Neeraj, hi. I'm Darshan. So basically, I have a few doubts here. Like, where will be our backup files?
Yeah.
Basically, we had changed the commit. So I want to roll back. So I had made the changes. It moved automatically. So I found that there are some bugs or like some issues in that. So I want to roll back to
Mhm.
the original, like
Yeah.
the old one. How to do that? Or like, is there
So
any
come back
way
to the
that
Git.
we are
Come
storing
back
the
to the.
data?
So this Git, right? Git is capable of maintaining your history. So you can come back to the history, you can change the file back to the previous version, and as soon as you will commit it back, it will again trigger the pipeline and your change will be reverted. That means the previous change will come.
So
We'll,
is
we'll
there
show
any
you that. I
specific
will make
time?
some change and then we will revert that change.
Okay.
Please come again.
Is there any timeline that within this time we need to roll back, or like is there any specific timeline, or we can do it anytime?
No, 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 no. There's nothing like that. You will deploy. No, you can do anytime. You will deploy first, then you will verify your changes. If you feel that something is wrong, I'm not happy with this release, I need to roll it back. Then you go back to the Git because Git is a version control system. Whenever you will make any change, it will not delete the older change. It will maintain the history. You make the change 10 times and it will show you all 10 changes and you can revert to any other version. So whenever you will revert it, then only your changes will be reverted back on your website. So I will show you that. So let's do one thing. I will open the website. You can see that email as this is displayed, right? Let me change this on my code. So there's a file index.html, that's your home page, and you can see line number 119. Email us is there. Let me add something here. I will control S. I'm saving the file. Saving the file will not trigger anything because this is on my Cloud9. Try to understand. Until or unless you are not committing into Git, it will not trigger the pipeline and it will not make any change on your website. So if you want to see what are the changes, I will go to my Git folder. Inside that CICD demo. Yes. There is a command git status. It will tell you how many files has been changed. You can see that only one file got changed, index.html. You may have changes in may have changes in multiple files also, but as of now, let's keep it in one file. And if you want to see what is the change, there's a command git diff and then your file name index.html. It will show you what is the change, so that before you commit, right, you should be very sure that okay, yeah, this is the change I am expecting. Mm, why it's showing like this? There's only one change, index.html, index.html. Okay. Or you can use any code comparison tool just to show you like what is the code change. So once you are sure, you will do git add file name index.html and then I will commit. Okay, I will show you this file on my git repository so that you understand. So if I open index.html, okay, so line number 119. Okay, let it load again. I refresh the page. So line number 119, email us, right? You see that currently it's email us because I haven't committed my change. So now I will go back to my cloud9. Okay, and there's a command git commit hyphen m for message. You can put some message. I would say sample code change, because later on when you will check the history, it will, I mean, if you have given some description, some message, it will help you to understand why did you make this change. So I'm just doing this sample code change and enter. And now I will do git push. This will push my code into my repository. So I will refresh the page and you will see the change. Right now it's email us, correct? I will refresh the page. Line number 119. You see that? Email us Neeraj. I made the change on my Cloud9. I committed the change. The change is reflecting on the Git now. And as soon as you will commit into the Git, it will auto trigger the pipeline. Let me open the pipeline. So code pipeline, it's there. Okay, so one pipeline is there, which I already created today morning. CICD website update pipeline. I will click on this and you will notice that it's already, you can see that just now. There are two stages. First stage is source. Source means it will fetch your code change from the Git repo. It has already integrated with code commit. You can see here. This source section is already configured to fetch the code change from that particular repository. If we click on this, I think we may get some detail. You can see that branch name master and repository name CICD demo. So it's fetching the code from CICD demo repository. And the second stage is deploy your code change on the website, which is just done just now. because it's a very small change and it's not a very complex website. So both things are done. It has done two things: fetching the code from Git repository and deploying on the website. And this is successfully completed. So if you go to website, it is showing email us. I will refresh this page and it should reflect your change. You can see that. It's perfectly updating without any manual
Yeah.
change. Any doubts till now?
No.
So you are asking about history, right? Let me show you. So you can go to your Git repo and from there you can check the history. Let me see if I can find index.html. Hmm, history. Cloning is not required. Master notify. There's a way to get the history, but in case coming to your question, you were asking how to revert it. So suppose are not happy with this change, you change it back and then run the pipeline again. So earlier I showed you how to make change from the command. Now I will change directly on the Git repository. So there's an option to edit this file. I will edit this. Okay. This time I will not do anything from the commands. So I will go to line number 119 and I will remove this needage. Okay. And if you want, I can change this email ID. Instead of info, I would say neeraj@example.com. Okay. And will come down. There's an option to save this change. You can see that. You can provide some details. Author name, Neeraj, email address, neeraj@gmail.com. Commit message optional, but you should always provide. Reverting the code changes. Okay. And commit. So as soon as you will commit, let's go back to the pipeline and you will notice that the pipeline is triggered. So pipeline, yes. You see that 3 minutes ago, right? I will refresh this and sometime it auto reflects also. So I will refresh this and you will not. So this is taking time. Uh, 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 uh. Maybe trial accounts are little bit slower as compared to the paid accounts. That's what I have noticed. Anyway, so you can see that the source stage is succeeded just now and deploy is also just now. If you want to check the history, right, how many times you triggered the pipeline, you can see the history from here. And you can see that 1 3 4 5 it has run. So this one 13 seconds ago and this one also. Earlier it was like sample code change that run at 8:50. It ran for 13 seconds. Within 13 seconds it deployed the changes. Now we change this one, reverting the code change, and this ran at 8:54. It also executed for 13 seconds and the status is succeeded. That's good. If there is any mistake, right, any permission issue or you specified wrong Git repository name, wrong website, something, pipeline may fail also. In that case, you need to look into the error message and try to fix that issue. But as of now, everything is good. And I will go back to my website and will refresh again. So Neeraj should disappear from here and the email address should be neeraj@example.com. I will refresh this website. Yes, you can see that it's perfectly updating. Okay, so this was a very small demo, very simple uh, project, just for explanation purpose. In real time scenario you may have many more complex projects, but ultimately the concept will remain same. You will make a code change from the Git. Instead of single file you may have changed in 10 files and you will commit the code changes into the Git. pipeline will take some time. This time only one file, so did not take some time. But suppose you have changes in 10 files, it may take some time. And then ultimately your changes will be deployed. At any point of time, if you are not happy with the changes, you revert the changes back and you can trigger the pipeline again. I was checking about the history, but I didn't find it. Branches, code repository, pull request, commits. So you can see that there are different commits. Sample code change, that commit happened at 7 minutes ago. And reverting the code changes, this happened 3 minutes ago. So you can come to this commit ID. You can see that. It will tell you what did you do. You removed this one and you added this one. Ultimately, you made some change, but this is the way to show like this red line is removed and green line is added. If you want to check another change, the latest one, right? You can click on this commit ID and you can see that. So email us Neeraj and info at that example.com is removed. Email us and Neeraj at that example.com is added. So this way you can go back to the history. These are known as commits basically. So you can see all the commits here. You can see all the commits here, and you can accordingly make the code changes. You can verify if something is wrong, just revert the code change. So friends, I am done from my end. I hope this has given you some brief idea how CICD pipeline works end to end. In case you are having any doubt, you can ask me. I would be happy to answer your questions.
Hi, Neeraj. Actually, I wanted to clarify two more doubts. So instead of using Git,
Okay.
so how
Okay.
instead of
Please come again.
using Git, instead of using
Hmm.
Git, so how it is comfortable in AWS build?
Get your question. Please elaborate.
Yeah, instead of using Git as a
Code build is a
version
different
control.
thing, and Git is a different thing. Git is the code version system.
Okay, okay, fine. Okay, no problem. So
Okay.
instead of using Git tool, so we are using Git commit in, sorry, AWS commit in AWS platform, right? So code commit and code build and all. So
Code commit.
yeah, I wanted to know about so how it is
Code commit, right?
comfortable. Yeah. Code commit. How is it comfortable compared to Git? Where Git it is an open source tool. So how it is comfortable with the AWS service?
There is there is no there is no difference at all. Not even 1% difference. There is no difference at all. Any command which you run on out the open source Git, the same command you can run on code commit. If you noticed, I used all the commands: git push, git commit, git add, everything. So there is no difference. The only difference, this is git based only. AWS code commit is git based only. That means all the git related commands you can try here also. The only thing is this is service is like AWS managed. That means your code will be stored on under AWS custody, and on GitHub that is like open source, so they will maintain the code. That's the only difference. Technically, command wise, concept wise, there is no difference. Does that answer your
Okay,
question?
okay. Yeah. I got it. Thank you. I clarified my doubts. Thank you.
Okay, so if there is no doubt, I can save this recording in some time, and then we are good.
Yeah, fine, Neeraj. Fine.
Okay, then thanks for joining the demo,
Thank you.
and I yeah, thank you. Have a nice weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.